Yeah, so it kind of flooded. Well, let's see how this goes. We're on Act 3 now of Tavern Talk. Yay! Hex! Grace? Is Grace here? Good mythical morning to you too, Hex. This isn't funny, Innkeeper. Tell me, is she here? Please tell me she's here. She is. I'll let her know you are too. Thank you. By the dragons, I was worried sick. So sick. She'll be happy to know you're safe and sound too. The flood was enormous, and if she had gotten caught up in it... Oh, no. I don't want to even begin to imagine. Then don't. How about a drink to calm your nerves? Yes, a drink sounds great. Something that will untangle my thoughts and help me focus. I'll see what I can do. Alright, Andu, how you doing, buddy? You doing okay? Okay. Oh, the music is different here. Rewires your synapses. Let's go with that. I really wonder how this is all gonna go. I'm worried. Oh, a little more of this. Alright, thank you, Andu, I love you. Maybe this will help clear your mind. It does, at least a little bit. Thank you, Innkeeper. Grace, there you are. Hex, good to see you safe and well. You too, where have you been? Are you alright? Did you get hurt? I'm fine. The Innkeeper and yesterday's superstars took good care of me. Just as you took good care of us. The least we could have done was be there for each other. How have you been, brother dear? Did you get hurt? No, but I was worried about you. The whole night locked in that damned house, all I could think of was about how the flood might have... Why didn't you tell me you were going to the tavern? I looked everywhere for you. Oh, sorry. I didn't know I needed your permission to go outside. That's not what I'm trying to say. What are you trying to say? That you could have gotten hurt, and I wouldn't have known. I don't expect a tsunami to hit Gaia every day. That wasn't in the foreseeable future, Hexy. Uncontrollable things happen, and when they do, we do our best to overcome them. Also, I can protect myself quite well. Still, how was I supposed to know you were safe? I'm an adult, you know. You could try trusting in my capabilities. Furthermore, PSAO? Sour? Was very useful last semester. Sour? Protective sigils and other remedies. Ah. Also, the tavern itself is well protected by my own brand of sigils. That's at least something. Yes, I'm very thankful the Innkeeper and her tavern kept me safe. I didn't mean to worry you. I didn't plan on being gone for so long, but then the flood happened. Okay, sure. How have you been holding up? Is the house alright? Apart from some minor damage and some leakage in the roof, I suppose it's fine. I wasn't even aware of the approaching flood until the house's foundation started trembling. I was busy in my workshop, harvesting the essence of Dimension 567 for my research. I hope you didn't rip a hole in the fiber of magic again. Again? Oh no. I didn't, and even if I did, you couldn't have stopped me. You weren't there after all. Right. But I can scold you now. You won't want to when you find out I actually managed to harvest something. You did? That's amazing. What a huge breakthrough. That would mean I created a tiny rift to the astral realm and got my hands on some stardust. Well, sort of. How? I got an astral shard when the stars fell. Ah, I see. There's still the issue of never knowing exactly what might come through when you open these kinds of rifts. Could be anything or anyone. Like creatures? For example. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, it wouldn't. Because when your sister disappears again, you wouldn't know if she got eaten by a creature or is just out for a stroll. Hex, cut it out. What? We get it, alright? I went away and you were worried. We get it, but I'm my own person and I can do what I like. I'm getting tired of this. Well, me too. Then stop. I don't want to fight. Then don't. Sorry. It's fine. We shouldn't spend our time fighting when there's so many more interesting things going on. I think because it seems like maybe Hex got the elven lifespan part and Grace got the human side of the lifespan. And because of that, Hex is constantly worried about Grace. But Grace doesn't want to be treated like that. Oh, how complicated. How about a wee bit of distraction? Oh, we could go outside and see if we could take samples of the floodwater. Exactly. Who knows, maybe it holds spectacular and rare magical properties. That sounds lit. Maybe it'll help me finish my long-term research project. Possibly, though to access the primordial vortex, you'd need primordial seawater, I know, but who knows what we'll find. Don't forget to fill me in on your research. Theopractically, I'd tell you anything, but only theopractically. Wouldn't have expected anything else. Thank you, Innkeeper, for hosting me tonight, and I'll see you soon. Yay! Voy! Fable! Good morning, you two. Did you sleep well? As well as we could with the sweet song of stormy waves pattering against our windows. So, very well, and with inspiring dreams. Glad to hear that. Your impromptu concert certainly helped me sleep. Because it was so boring? No, because it calmed my nerves. All our nerves, I think. Not that I have any. You don't have nerves? Is that a phantasm thing? No, I meant those metaphorical nerves. Oh, you get those too? No, of course not. I'm Voy. Well, yeah, sometimes. Mostly when I have to perform. Isn't that embarrassing? Not really. That also makes me nervous. Oh, though. I have to say, last night, performing with you for Grace and the Innkeeper, it was kind of relaxing. I could just lose myself in the performance without having to worry about what anyone would think of me. Not that I ever do, but it was nice. We should make more music together sometime. Ooh, actually, Fable just got started on a new song. Maybe you can collaborate. Really? That would be awesome. Well, because I didn't want to put Fable on the spot, but I didn't want to say that Fable could use more practice because I didn't want Fable to think that I was saying that they were bad. Well, yes, you're right. That'll be awesome. I think working on it together could be fun. Shrunyon, yeah! Oh, sorry. Hooray! I'm looking forward to our grand collaboration. And charming you with it, Innkeeper. Alright. You're supposed to say you're also looking forward to it. I very much am. I'm very much looking forward to it. That's what I thought. Aren't we gonna be cool together? The coolest. Too cool for me to describe. I already know we'll blow you away. I'm counting on it. Enough chit-chat. I should check up on the village. Maybe someone needs a good song to cheer them up. I'm sure Baya would love one. I think Baya was probably cheered up by a good flood. But speaking of her, maybe you can hand out some of her spa coupons for me? Sure thing. Her spa rocks. I shall start by inviting Grace. Is she still here? No, she just left, together with Hex. Something about primordial water. Those wizards. I'll try to catch up to them. See you soon. Don't finish the song without me, Fable. I'll wait for you. Ooh. Can I get one of those coupons? Sure you can. Just make sure to tell Baya I sent you. Of course. What a strange morning. Or exciting morning. Both, I think. Would you like a morning drink? Yes. Something that'll help me with writing my song, please. Ooh. Let's see. Popular among bards and rangers. That sounds good. That one is honey flower. Alright. Sunny breeze with honey flower. And intelligence. To the second one. Yeah, nailed it. Hee hee. I hope y'all are having a very comfy day. A drink with 0 primordial water. Maybe. Sip of tea. It does taste a little primordial. Very delicious. Perfect. You know, last night when I couldn't sleep, I was watching the fish swimming by the windows. Their scales kept reflecting in the water, making them shift and shimmer like they almost weren't there. I was mesmerized by them. It was like a dream that kept pulling me towards the waves. It was beautiful and haunting. Do you think it looks like that every day somewhere? That beautiful? That haunting? I think any place we can imagine exists somewhere, if only in our heads. I'd like to see all of those places. I don't think they're all safe to see. Ah, Carolyn! And Kumo! Fable, by the dragons, they're here. Are you alright? I am. The innkeep kept me safe. It's good to see you both are well, too. Couldn't you have let us know you were breathing? We couldn't find you anywhere. I'm sorry, I just woke up. Were you guys worried about me? Maybe. Of course we were. Don't even know if you can swim. I can. Can you? Of course. No. Oh, we should teach you sometime. Sure. Thank you for worrying about me, but I actually had a pretty nice night. Voy and I gave Grace and the Innkeeper a small concert while we were all stuck inside. Oh, sad that we missed that. I can track down... Oh, no. He's sad. That'd be nice. I'm sorry I didn't get around to picking you up. Yeah, they missed their date. It's okay. I bet the roads were a bit busy. Yeah, it was a little tough getting out. Rufus loved it, though. Think he made some new friends. Seems like this catastrophe had some pleasant side effects. What happened anyway? Did a whale eat a moon this time? No idea what that's supposed to mean, but no. Or maybe. No idea how it happened. They say the primordial sea flooded the Twilight Chasm, and all spilled out through its portals into Fasoa, leaving us with this mess. That's new. At least the other continents probably got through it without much trouble. For once, they can be less jealous of our portals. I do hope everyone is okay. Everyone we could check on is. Luckily for us, the water's strange enough to rescue everyone around here. Though I heard that underwater hasn't emerged yet. Happy to see you all emerged. Mostly. What does that mean? Are you still looking for someone? Yes. I was wondering if Melly is here. She wasn't home when I checked on her. No, she didn't stop by yesterday, nor today. Did you see her before that? Did she say where she'd be going? I'm afraid she hasn't been in since you returned from Zoford. That Weezer punk hasn't seen her either. Took a second to ask him when he almost broke down at Kumo's door looking for Grace. Do we know if she can swim? I'm sure she can. I'm sure she's just taking shelter elsewhere. You taught her how to hide well, after all. Maybe she's just putting that to good use. When I returned yesterday, I found Rufus eating out of a strange apparatus that dispenses food and water every couple of hours. Oh, they got an automatic feeder. Like someone really smart set it up for him in their absence? Yes, he was gorging himself on some food, but Melly was nowhere to be found. Oh, that's worrying. Did she leave a note? No. I'm sure she's okay. Maybe ask Una. She probably put her up to something. I shall investigate that avenue right now. Fable, would you be okay with moving our time? Time? You got an appointment or something? More like a date. Ah. Can't wait for that story. I'll tell you later. But, yes, we should move it. This isn't the kind of dancing in the rain I was hoping for. Me neither. Another time, then? Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Me too. I hope she didn't try to investigate the fish. They'd eat her alive. Sounds a little more hopeful. The girl's savvy. I mean, look at that contraption she left behind. Ain't no fish got a chance against her. Being hopeful isn't really my thing. Then make it your thing. I'll let you know when I find her. Such a man of few words. A man of shrunion words. He's just worried. Uh-huh. Speaking of worries and words, Care, it's good to finally see you back. How was the escorting? I hope you didn't get too wet. It sure was something. Certainly have had enough of nobility for a while. Got any more details for me? Well, actually, this can wait a bit, right? Yes? Thanks for understanding. I'll be back later, once I can think more clearly. I'd like to check up on Uncle Dragon, make sure that old fart is still up and running. Fable, I'm guessing you'd like to check in with your family too? Yes, I would love to make sure everyone's alright. Maybe Melly's with the Amaranthine Hydra. She really wanted to ask it for tea recommendations. I'm counting on you returning with a good story. Will do. Got a good one for you. I'll see if I can drag Rhea and Fancy Pants along as well. Think they could use a drink. Speaking of which, got one for the road? Sure thing. Something strong to get you through all that socializing? You got it. Alright. Strong sailor's courage. Alright. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Nailed it. I even remember the right infusion. Here, the strongest thing I could brew up for you. Thanks. Missed these drinks. A little. Oh, that's sweet. Don't dwell on it. Anyway, Fable, let's go. I'll be right there. I'm sure everybody will be okay, Innkeeper, so don't you worry about it. And make sure to keep a hot chocolate warm for Melly. I'm sure she'd love one of those. I'll give it my best. I know you will. Don't swim out too far. We'll see. The waters are dangerous these days. Just what are you up to? Time to make sure I have enough ingredients for hot chocolate around, I guess. Una! Good to see that you're open, Innkeep. And a good evening to you too, Una. Ha! Spare me the babbling, though I'm glad you seem to be unharmed. I am, thanks to some protective spells I put on the inn a while back. Works better than any insurance. What about you? Are you unharmed? I'm as good as new. Might be missing an arm, but that doesn't mean I forgot how to swim. It's easier than walking, actually. And breathing water instead of air was unexpectedly nice. These gills aren't just for decorative purposes. Felt a bit like home, you know. But the water tasted different than that of the astral sea. More primordial, I might even say. Yeah, I figured. But you don't seem to be very worried about it. No, whatever happens is none of my business now. I'm retired. And water also doesn't bother me. Shouldn't bother you too much either, am I right? Since you're so close to... I knew you wouldn't forget. I might be old, but I'm not senile. Me neither. So you wouldn't call the primordial sea your home, then? I've inhabited a few planes already. My past doesn't define the word home for me anymore. But you're right, primordial water doesn't do any harm to me. Even if I wanted to drown in it, I wouldn't be able to. But honestly, I was more worried about my patrons than the inn itself. Give me that innkeeper lore. I want to know more. I hope everyone is safe and well. Don't worry too much about all your regulars. Adventurers are tough folk, and your drinks toughen them up even further. I have faith that you're right. But your tavern... well, let's just say it's definitely seen better days. Nah, that's kind of an understatement. It looks like Shrunion. Ouch. I've been working the whole day to clean up as much as I can. My condolences. Say, have you ever talked to the Wizard of Morla? Morlia? No, sadly I haven't had the pleasure. Oh, you should if you get the chance. He's always loved all kinds of spells and enchantments. More of the kind involving trickery, like puzzles and traps. But I'm sure he also knows a protective spell or two. I mean, he's been protecting his wizard tower for quite some time now. Ooh. I'll keep that in mind if I ever get to meet him. But I suppose you're not just here to talk. How about a drink? Ha! You definitely have a way with customer service. How about a drink that'll wake my old muscles up so I can help you tidy up your tavern afterwards? I can't quite remember having asked for help. Ah, what's that? My old ears suddenly can't understand what you're saying. How unfortunate. Maybe a strong drink would help. Alright, coming right up. Oh, Una. Alright. Strength. Doo, doo, doo. I've already made a sailor's courage. Doo, 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 doo. I'll make a southern brawler. It's been a while. Alright, and a little bit of charisma. And a little bit of defense. Nailed it! I'm having better luck with the drinks this time. Oh no, I probably jinxed it. There you go. A drink powerful like the astral sea. Wonderful. I consumed enough primordial water to last me weeks. And it doesn't taste exactly like home, but a hint of elemental magic revives some old memories. I gotta say, you definitely know your craft. Thank you. Can I maybe convince you to just relax and let me do my work? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Forget it. Let's clean this messy tavern. If you insist. Before I forget, all that water swept some animal remains into my pockets. Don't really know where they came from, and I don't feel any kind of astral energy coming from them. So I assume they're either Gaian or primordial. And before I stab myself with them while cleaning, I want to check if you'd have any use for them. Stab? Yeah, they're surprisingly sharp. Now I'm curious. Let me see. Ha, you're so easy. Saberfang. Thank you, Una. They might not be primordial, but I think I know just what to do with them. Ooh. Saberfang. Ooh. Strength and dexterity. These saber fang tips are from the special fangs of the colossal saber-toothed tigers from the Forbidden Valley. They lose them bi-yearly and regrow them at remarkable speeds. Ooh, with haste. Interesting. Gonna spice up some drinks? Maybe. Can't wait to try them then. And now let's spice up this old rusty tavern. Thanks? Rhea! Yay! Innkeeper. Rhea. Innkeeper. Care. Greetings, Innkeeper. Hello, Archie. Finally came to tell you the tale of tales. Told you we'd be back with a good one, didn't I? Indeed. Indeed. It's a thrilling story to be certain. That being said, you look like you got some thrilling stories to tell yourself. None thrill me as much as yours will. Well, grant me one question still. Shoot. Who's that granny on your roof? An old friend of mine. She's helping me tidy up the tavern after the flood. She's a really nice friend then. I suppose so. I didn't know she was on the roof. Are a lot of tiles missing? Half of them. About a quarter. Just a few, actually. That's not particularly conclusive, but I trust Una and her abilities. Sometimes. Closing your eyes is a reason you'll run into the edge of a blade someday. Or not, if I'm lucky. If. Did the flood hit you as well? You bet. Had to hold on to Rhea for a quick second there, or else she would have been swept away like a twig. I hauled your wish. We just passed Themis when it happened. Luckily there were 2 carriages nearby, wedged between sturdy trees and a large boulder. We managed to pull ourselves out of the raging waters and into those carriages. Thank the dragons, could have gone south real quick. And your tavern looks a wee bit wet as well. It is. I've been working non-stop to clean it up. That's not good. Working non-stop? Comes with being self-employed, I get. No, I mean the flood. Never heard of a flood that massive. Spread all the way from Themis to Zenith. You're right. We certainly ain't that close to the sea. Themis, maybe. But not you're in. It's all still very recent. We'll have to wait until we know the true extent of it. Back to your story. How's the journey to Dyria? And how did you manage with the flood? The journey to Dyria itself was uneventful, but venturing to the Dyrian capital all the more so. As for the flood, didn't really bother us until we arrived back on the mainland. I think we should tell the story chronologically. That might make it a bit easier to digest. Thank you, Archie. Alright then, go ahead. Me? Yeah, you're good at telling stories after all. You think so? Aye. Alright, so listen closely, for what's about to unfold is a story as terrifying as it is heroic. Here we go. It was midnight and the moon was standing high when the 3 adventurers assembled at their meeting point. Didn't know we were taking this carrot here along. Was a surprise. A pleasant one, I hope. Having one party member more than anticipated was at least more pleasant than the surprises that lay ahead. Now I'm intrigued. So, accustomed to the pleasant surprise, we ventured to Theodore's abode in Themis. Very fancy. Very expensive. Don't think I've ever seen such a posh bit before. 3 stories tall. For one person. To be fair, one person and a lot of staff, like cooks, maids, and a gardener. For a holiday residence, even worse. I'd very much appreciate it if we didn't judge people based on their amount of wealth. Or their lack thereof. Exactly. So you arrived at his holiday residence in Themis. Right. We approached the gates and rang the bell. The fog was creeping up around the house, like it was pressuring us to go in. A man in a black suit opened the gate, and with a deep and raspy voice said, "State your business, please." Some sort of butler. Told him, "Listen up, clown, you are our business." Which wasn't very polite. No one asked you? Maybe you should have. Then they wouldn't have thought we were bandits. Well, we got that cleared up, didn't we? 'Cause I introduced myself quickly when I saw some guards already approaching. I introduced myself as Gustav Archibald Richmond III. Knowing my family and the childhood friendship that Theo and I have fostered over 2 decades, the butler relaxed and let us through. You know what's funny, Innkeep? What? The other lad was also a third. Born in the same generation, both a third of our names. Perhaps that's why we were destined to be friends, just like our fathers and their fathers were. Theodore Hugo Frederick Sinclair III is his full name. No one called him that. They called him Theodore. Or Theo. Or Dor. Either way, we had rang him out of his sleep, so he wasn't all that amused to see us. They laid eyes upon ye, Ginger. Never seen a gaze light up so fast. What do you mean? That he was happy to see you, that's all. Oh, well, I'm always happy to see him. So when we caught sight of each other, all violent tensions were blown away, and others were created. I found our visit very peaceful. Yeah, Theo's a polite lad. Offered us tea and biscuits while we waited for him to pack his things. I could ship it. Archie with Theo. Not a fan of tea? No. Just a method to bribe you, that's all. Get him on your good side, then throw him off a cliff. I'd like to disagree. Hospitality is not bribing. Also, no one threw you off a cliff. Metaphorically. He is the reason we almost died, though. Care, you don't need to blame the customer. Incidents like that are the reason they need help. Right. It will all make sense when we get there. So, after Theo packed his things, we made our way to Windmore at sunrise. From there, we took a ship. A brig, just for us. Whole crew for a diplomat. Safety is important for a politician. The food was great, to say the least. At least. We had to take the ship, as you might be aware, Innkeeper. The bridge connecting Dyria and the mainland was destroyed. I recall. So, the ship we took brought us to Twinborough, and not to Atmostar itself. Why was that? Apparently the debris from the bridge is a safety hazard for passing ships. And if there was one thing we didn't need, it was distress at sea. We were lucky with the weather. The sea stayed calm, even with the thunderstorm right behind us. And the mood on the ship was jolly. Theo entertained us with his stories of old. Oh, he's a great storyteller. I wonder where he gets all those thrilling narratives from. Actually, I suppose he still reads a lot. We used to read together when we were younger. We'd read the same book, but always one chapter at a time before giving it to the other to read the same chapter. That way it felt as though we were reading together. He was always so imaginative, still is. So we weren't bored a bit before we reached shore. You're not so bad with yourself with your stories, lad. I'm glad you like them. Already working on the story about you two. The claw of Erove and the hammer of Justice! Ray of Frostgrip, the hammer of Justice? No. Ray of Frostgrip, the hammer of Executive Force. Keep working on it, lad. You're getting there. The story? Can we continue? Of course. We arrived at Twinborough in the late afternoon. The sun was already setting on the horizon, tinting the world in colors of purple. At that point, none of us could have imagined the world would be tinted in red soon enough. Red like the sunrise, or red like blood? We got off the ship, and after a short break in Twinborough, we made our way to Atmostar. We got about 2/3 of the way there without any issues, till darkness settled around us. Type of darkness that creeps up on you like an eerie mist. Type of darkness that chokes all noise out of the world. You know something is going on if you hear nothing. No birds, no crickets, no wind. Just dead silence. Didn't even realize it till Kara pulled me aside and pointed it out. Just as I was explaining it to her, my ears perked up. Far away, I heard some low humming sounds. Didn't hear them myself. I thought you were making it up, imagining noises in the dark to make up for the absence of light. Sometimes the brain does things like that. It was so silent except for all that humming. I started getting this weird feeling in my guts. Like a sixth sense? Like that, yeah. Don't know if it's the genes or the experience, but at some point you start feeling when something shifts and things ain't as they should be. Gotcha. Either way, I hear the humming, and it's not long before it turns into a growling. That's when I heard it too, deep and guttural. I saw silhouettes in the woods, left and right. Their eyes reflected our torchlight eerily. I huddled closer to Theo, to protect him. Soon we were surrounded by a knot of zombies. A lot of them, everywhere. They were moaning and groaning and so ready to feast on us. I grasped Theo's hand because I had to hold on to something. Had to act fast. They'd already seen us and were surrounding us, so running away wasn't an option. Clearly we had to fight our way through, so I readied my sword. It wasn't far till a massa. Felt sturdy as a rock, like nothing could harm me. I needed to ensure the same for Rhea, Archie, and Theodore. So I reached into the powers of your drink. The woman stopped walking abruptly while these beasts were approaching us. I drew my hammer just in case. I heard her mumble words I didn't understand. Enhanced by the citrine you put in our drinks, I called upon my Baba, asking for guidance. I've never had much business with the dragons, but she had. I hoped if I reached out she could lend me some of that. I never felt so close to her before, not even when I spoke to that chimera. The zombies approached, pressing closer against our dim torchlight, when suddenly a shield of light burst out of her sword, engulfing us, and pushing the zombies away in an eruption of divine force. It was a light of radiant gold all around us, shimmering softly. I didn't waste any more time and kept going. Honestly, I barely know what I did myself. It's all a haze. Luckily, it seems the undead are like pack animals, at least for the most part. Made all the slashing a bit easier. She pushed forward. Rumor unlocked. Dawn of the Brandhead. She pushed forward, cutting through the zombies one by one, the rest of us at her heels. But it seemed like a bottomless pit, and more came rushing towards us. The traveling shield blocked most of them, but eventually it began to crack. Fair enough. After a bunch of steady, forceful impacts and some breaks, I made sure to push the undead back with my hammer. Meanwhile, Theodore seemed scared. Told me he wished this was just another assassination attempt instead. At least then the foes would have been alive. I was just as terrified, but I did my best to keep him safe. Then he tripped and fell. I tried to catch him, but he pulled me down with him. Carolyn was so focused on getting through the ambush that she pressed on. We fell behind, leaving the shimmering shield's presence. Darkness enclosed on us, and we caught the attention of the zombies, who began cornering us. I couldn't let us die, so I called out for Rhea. By then, I had already noticed they were gone, so I called out to Carolyn and headed back to the lads. I smashed every undead head that dared to come close. And Archie, well, I didn't know you had it in you, lad. Well, it was out of necessity. What happened? One of the zombies grabbed Theo's leg and attempted to drag him away from me. But I got up, drew my rapier, and poked the thing right through the eye and dropped her to the ground like a wet towel. Fascinating. A little. When I heard Ray, I hurled around. They were all by themselves in the distance, almost dying because someone didn't wash their feet. Easy care. Accidents happen. Accidents kill people. Obviously, I couldn't let that happen, so I rushed back. We lost all of our previous advantages. More came flooding in by the second. Not wanting to waste any more time, I pulled Theodore up by his collar and threw him over my shoulder. I wasn't risking any more accidents. course, he didn't like that. Later, he said it was invading his personal space. I told him I could have just let him die instead, which maybe wasn't the right response, I guess. Shortly afterwards, we reached the gates of Amasa. The guards came to our aid and helped ward off the zombies. Carolyn sat Theo down and I helped him inside the safe borders of the city. The horrors were over, and thanks to Carolyn and Rhea, we've reached our destination. And to you, kid. Yeah, I suppose you didn't do too bad a job. Theo was beyond thankful. Even though he wasn't amused by being thrown over Carolyn's shoulder, he understood that she saved his life. He was so impressed that he said it would make for a great story. He even started on a first draft. But after the fight, he felt really inspired to solve the conflict between Diria and the mainland. So he'll probably have no time to finish it, and decide to give the manuscript to me. He said he always liked when I told him stories. He'd love to hear this tale in my own words. I promised him I'd write something up for the next time we see each other. Still a better love story than that one romance book. You mean the one with the vampires? Yeah. I doubt this is going to be a love story. Let's talk about you two lovebirds. Me? And Theo? We're just, friends. Sure you are. I ship it. Either way, we brought him to his destination in the city, had some tea, and started making our way back by noon. We checked out some tourist traps. Their tricks don't work if you know what you're up against. I bought a mug. Yeah, sure did. But I already have more than enough mugs at home, so I wanted you to have it, so you'll always remember our heroic adventure. I would love to. I'm an avid keepsake collector. Splendid! Ooh, yay! Yay! Anyways, afterwards we had some tea and made our way back by noon. Once we arrived back on the mainland, the flood hit like it'd been waiting for us. I can still feel the cold water clinging to my bones. Speaking of, I'll freshen up a bit. I still have mud in my shoes. And then maybe I'll continue with the rest of the story. Of course, take your time. Now it's just us. Indeed. That kid is so green behind the ears. Weren't we all? Can I offer either of you a drink? After a journey like this one, I could use something that tastes like rocks and regenerates my stamina. Coming right up, tastes like rocks. Let's see, defense. Let's see, snowy mountains. Steel tonic? Maybe that one? Yeah, let's go with steel tonic. So which one did I use for that? Was it citron? I wonder. You know what? Yeah, sure, let's try it with the saber fang. That. Yay! Nailed it. Let's give this a shot. Thanks, Innkeeper. Much needed. You're welcome. Care, let's talk about your extraordinary fighting skills. Gotta say, I was really impressed with how you decimated those zombies. Takes a good beast slayer to know one. Nah, I'm more of a fighting type. General fighting type, you know. But I can always appreciate 2 strong hands. And such a well-crafted greatsword on top of that. Happy to see you appreciate solid craftsmanship. It was a gift from my Baba. She told me the great dragons themselves gifted it to her, but I don't know if that's true. Have you ever heard of the Great Axe of Ur? The most powerful weapon ever, forged by the origin of this world themselves? You bet. You think it really exists? I mean, my Bible loved to tell stories. But if her sword was made by the dragons, maybe Ur's great axe was also more than just a myth. Dwarves have their origin in the subterranean caves, on the plain of Ur. I grew up in a labyrinth of caves, surrounded by gems and ores and legends and tales. I mean, I haven't seen it with my own two eyes yet, but I'm convinced the legendary weapon exists. I bet it's so large, I probably wouldn't even recognize it as an axe. I've heard Ur keeps it in their resting place at all times. Yeah, though so far no one has found that yet. And hopefully no one ever has to. What do you mean? You know the tale. If someone was to wake Ur up, the apocalypse would begin. But that's just an old tale, right? Something you tell kids that don't want to eat their food. Eat up or Ur will awaken. Questionable parenting techniques, if you ask me. Yeah, I got to hear that a few times when I was still a wee bairn. All those tales ever did was make me want to craft a legendary weapon myself. Have you ever made something like it? Not yet, but I will soon. I'll make the greatest weapon ever forged and smash this year's Orhart blacksmithing competition to bits. I'll outcraft my ex-husband with ease, that Shrunion. Ex-husband? Yeah, we used to work together. Nolly claims I wouldn't stand a chance without him, but I'll prove him wrong. Anyways, Innkeeper, I think it's getting quite late and it's been an exhausting week. Absolutely agreed. Let's get some rest. Then look for another quest elsewhere to afford me crafting materials. Good night, you two. Good night, Care. Night, Innkeep. Ooh, exciting. A legendary weapon. Ooh. Sounds fancy and shiny. Another day done. Ooh, the water's gone in this one. Ooh. Were they able to fix it? Una did a great job with the roof. Alright, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a very comfy night. Bye!